right. I'm really bad at this, guys. Okay. So for starters, I'd like to really implore upon consideration of something. Support two organizations that are local. We are talking about the ability to make direct impact. The first of those being the Ada Jenkins Center. Folks, so through Ada Jenkins, they receive medical care, dental care, nutritional support, supplemental education, and after-school education, and they are under increasing pressure for funds. Please consider donating something to the Ada Jenkins Center. And the second organization I have to highly recommend is the Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy. You may not have heard of them, but they are the only nonprofit in the area giving free legal representation to immigrant families, refugees, and unaccompanied minors. What is happening is the following. So they have an increasingly higher caseload from families and children that were separated prior to the current humanitarian crisis. These institutions remain in custody for a long time. Yes, folks, it is a perverse system. They make their way out of custody to certain cities in the United States. Many land in Charlotte for immigration court and asylum court. They have a higher caseload. But what they are expecting now and preparing for are these individuals, families, children, and refugees from the current crisis who will remain in custody for quite some time. That's a perverse in and of itself. However, as they make their way out of custody and to other cities, many will land here in Charlotte and need legal representation. They could use your donations. The Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy, the only institution giving free legal representation for all of these individuals that we are here to present today. Thirdly, donate clean clothing to Lydia's Law in Huntersville. They attend the community that we are here defending and provide free clothing. I know you're going to say, I knew you were going to say that, but I have to. Pressure our senators and House representatives. I don't know about anybody else, and whose hands are going numb on this one. I know, it's really tiresome. But we have to continue to pressure every week, make those phone calls, and speak out against these policies. Please, it really does help. And lastly, get involved behind our candidates locally that are running for office. Now, so we can also vote to register. It is important to vote in this midterm coming in November. Maybe in the past I didn't care so much. Now I do. It matters. I'll close by saying that we must fight policies that don't define our family values. But we must fight vigorously
just so you know, a lot of the organizations that she mentioned are on the flyer. If you want information about more, we have a sign up over here on the table. Anyone that has their email over there, we'll send out something later, maybe not today, but sometime soon, with more information, not only about what Barbara talked about, what Jim said, what Jane Campbell has said, and what Rabbi Michael might say later, but about how you can stay active going forward, not just on this issue, but so many things that unfortunately need our attention right now. Before our last speaker, we thought we'd liven the crowd up a little bit, see if we can get some of the people registering to vote over the farmers market to hear us. Louder! Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap all the way to the corners of your field. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. You shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt. The wretched refuse of the teeming shore. When a stranger resides with you in your land, you shall not wrong him. The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love him as yourself. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. Learn to do good, devote yourselves to justice, aid the wronged, uphold the rights of the orphan, defend the cause of the widow, says Isaiah. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. God said, I will make you a light unto the nations, says Isaiah. We are commanded to bring light into the world. The light that God offered in the first moments of creation. A light that dispels the darkness, a light that shows us a path ahead in our land. Deuteronomy exhorts us, justice, justice shall you pursue. We will build this world from love. We will teach others to build with love. We will protest, rally, and mobilize when cruelty, racism, and dehumanization push their way into policy. There are human beings created in the image of God at our border, being called murderers and rapists and vermin. We must answer the call to righteous action, and we must hold our elected officials responsible to moral leadership, to affirming liberty and justice for all, a true patriotism. In his famous American prayer, Woody Guthrie spoke of this great land being your land and my land. Embedded in the original version, though, was a critique of the ills of American society at the time. There were those around him that said that Joseph McCarthy was the reason that those verses didn't make it into the published version of the song. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me, we all know. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. Sign was painted, it said private property, but on the back side it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. The American dream, the American promise is not private property. It is the holy possession of any righteous person yearning to be free. A true patriot protests and speaks truth. There are those who claim the mantle of patriotism, who call the truth tellers and protesters un-American. Today, for the sake of our land and all of its inhabitants, for all who seek safety within our borders, and for future generations who want to see this land as a land of liberty and justice for all, I suggest we reclaim our land. In the shared scripture, it points us in the direction of sacred resistance and holy dissent. Abraham challenged God when God wanted to destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Moses pushed back on God's plan to destroy the complaining Israelites. The Hebrew midwives defied Pharaoh and his order to kill the Hebrew children. Resistance, dissent, wrestling is at the heart of so many of those key scriptural stories. We are in dire need, as the great Reverend Barber says, of a moral revival. We must demonstrate a commitment to welcoming immigrants, protecting families crossing the border, and the reinstatement of laws allowing refugees and asylum seekers, victims of domestic violence, to find shelter in our land. The great Rabbi Hillel said, "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, who am I? And if not now, when?" We are commanded to not stand idly by while our neighbor is suffering. And that's why we're here today, to say we see you and we care. And so on the back of your info sheet, sing with me as a rededication to doing better. This land is your land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. Sign was painted, it said private property, but on the backside it did say nothing. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, by the looking office, I see my people. As they stood hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, while all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. Dear God, help us today to help your children. Help us today to set aside our differences in opinion or thought. Help us today to learn, really learn from our history. Help us to turn our rage into hope. No, turn our rage into direct action. And God, help us to build our world from love instead of hate. May it be so. Amen.
Thanks to everyone for coming out. Thank you so much to all of our speakers. MoveOn.org, who is the ones that are coordinating all of these all over the country, and we couldn't have done it without their help. They've put a ton of effort into everything that's going on today all over the place, and they need our support too. So MoveOn.org. Don't let this be the end of your involvement. We need to stick together. We need to fight for what's right. We need to spread the word, continue to help each other out, register to vote if you're not. If you are, get someone else registered. We need to work towards changing things in November and going forward. Thank you again. I appreciate seeing everyone here. If you can, everyone move up this way. Peace out. Hold your signs as high as you can. We're going to take a picture together.